Hello guys, in this video I'm going to show you how can you write content in WordPress. First of all, you must create an account in WordPress, and after that you can write your content. As you can see, I have an account in WordPress and I'm going to log in. After logging in WordPress, we can do the another stages of writing. So we click to the blog post, and as you can see here, we can some choices: blog post, all post, add new categories and tags. This is our site in WordPress, dead9.com. We put our contents in dead9.com, as you can see. Now I'm going to add a new post. But before, in all posts I saved a draft post, and I'm going to show you how can we to create a new post. As you can see, they are the post of these titles. For example, advantages and disadvantages of Python programming language. This is my title. Now I'm going to write this content. The background of this site is look like Word. For example, you can write anything, but now I'm writing the advantages and disadvantages of Python programming language. As you can see, I wrote these sentences about this title, but now I'm going to say how can you publish this content and everybody how can see your content. As you can see, I make it draft to show you how can we publish it. Let me say something to you. In this content or writing content in WordPress, you must consider two factors. One of them is readability, another is SEO. I'm repeating again. After writing your content, you must consider two important factors. One of them is SEO, another is readability. So what are these? The readability, as you can see, the status of readability is red, and I'm going to make it green. It must be green, and if it becomes green, it's acceptable. So I'm going to explain this sentence. What are these? First of all is flash reading is. It means flash reading is gives you a total score of your content. For example, my score of this content is 46.9. It means it's difficult to hard. It's difficult for read. For example, some graduated people can learn what I wrote about this title. So we can fix it. Another something is passive voice. You must not in WordPress. You must not apply. You must not use too many passive voice because it gives you error, and you must fix it. Now we are going to watch our passive voice sentences. As you can see, These are my passive sentences and I must fix them up. And passive voice of my content is 12.6%, and I must fix them. As you can see, I must reach it to 10% because the status must be green. Now I'm going to fix it. And as you can see, I make it better than before. Before was 12 and now it's 11.6, and in the continue I must make it to 10%. I don't have another choice except of using less passive voices. Here, as you can see, the Python is widely used. I must make this sentence to active. Here, just delete the ed and it becomes to active. And as you can see, I must 10% is 5% is passive, and I must fix them. I must fix it again. So as you can see, my passive voice of my content comes back to or changed to green status, and the only error that I must fix it is transitional words. It's 29.5%. I must reach it to 30%. Now I'm going to see how many transitional words I used in my content. As you can see from top, here I use transitional words, here I use transitional words, and but here that it's not underlined, I must use transitional words. Transitional words, for example, so, in addition, conclusion, and therefore they are transitional words. Now I'm going to add one of these transitional words to this content. For example, here I just used one transitional word. For example, so. Now we are going to see the status. Yeah. As you saw before, the status of my readability was red, but now it's changes to green because I fixed these errors. For example, passive voice and transitional word. In writing content in WordPress, you must always attention to these factors. Consecutive sentences, you must attention to that. Subheading distribution. For example, you must add some headings related to your content. For example, heading 4, heading 2, and heading 1. And paragraph length, you must attention to these factors. Now, after readability, we are going to the SEO factor. So, what are these? I said before, after writing every content in WordPress, you must consider two factors: readability and SEO. Now we are making a SEO for this site. Now we are going to make the SEO factor. So here what it written, focus key phrase. We must choose a key phrase for our content. So my content is advantages and disadvantages of Python programming language. For example, you must find your key phrase. For example, this is my key phrase, Python programming, and I put it here. And in the continue, I must fix this. So I must fix this factor. For example, SEO title. As you can see, I delete all of them, and I want to make it on myself. Remember, always put your key phrase in the first part of your SEO title. Python programming, and I inserted one separator, and as you can see, here is the SEO title, Python programming separator, and I put the category of that. I will explain what is it in the continue of this video. Another, I put Python programming, and as you can see, it's their orange status. I must make it to green status. I must use more sentences in my SEO title. As you can see, this is my SEO title, Python programming, and why companies prefer Python. Here is a prem category, and I want to talk about category. The category of my content is advantages of the programming language. So I talked about Python. I choose my Python in category, and if you didn't I had Python, with my click that I can add a new category. I'm searching for Python. So I'm searching a category for my content. I write about Python related to programming. Yeah, I choose the programming, and as you can see in SEO title, I must delete this office, and I choose the programming. Now we are going to another to fix another's factors. Here, as you can see, this is meta description. We must add meta description to our content. It can be parts of some sentences, parts of your content. For example, here I want to choose this sentence. Yeah, I think it's enough. And even these factors logs, other factors must be in green status. Here, as you can see, it's orange because it's red. I must choose more sentences for meta description. For example, I can use this sentence in the continue of the meta description. I had a mistake, sorry. So I copy it to here, and its length is a lot, and I must make it to green. So as you can see, we choose this sentence for our content. So and the continue of this movie, we must fix these errors. 4 problems found. So outlinks, images, internal links, and previously used keyphrase. It's sometimes this error can't be fixed because maybe someone write this article like that and used Python programming for his or her content. Now I'm going to fix these errors: outlink, image, and internal link. So what is outlink? In writing every content, we must put outlinks and inlinks. For example, I must find something for giving to it outlink. For example, C++. I must search it in what is C++? C++ and the popular site has description about C++ is Wikipedia. So I'm waiting. Now for giving outlink, I copy the link of Wikipedia and giving to this, and I paste that link here. So C++ is our outlink, and I must some inlink. Inlink we must find. For example, I choose Java for inlink, and I put here, and I click to insert, as you can see. For example, Java. How many contents with Java are there in our site? For example, here, important facts of Java definition. These contents are there in our site, and I put it one of them because they are in link. Now we choose outlink and inlink, and we are going to fix another errors related to SEO. So as you can see, only 2 problems: images and other one. We can't fix it anymore. Now we are choosing an image for our content. Something I forgot to say: every content needs images for publishing. Now we are going to find an image. Here, as you can see, set feature image. We are choosing images for that. You must choose a related picture for your content, and here you must write your key phrase. My key phrase of my content was Python programming. Always should remember to write the key phrase here. Now I choose key phrases, and the status of my cell changed to green. It's ready for publish. So and at the end of that, we must choose some tags related to our content. For example, tags is some key phrases to your content. For example, I choose it for my tag, and Java and C++, because in this content I speak about Java and C++, and I'm choosing them, and I think it's enough tags for this content. Now, after adding categories and adding tags and fix these errors of readability and SEO, I'm going to publish my content. We click the publish. We are waiting for publishing. Now I want to show you how is my content in or how user can see my content. We are waiting for that. Yeah, this is our site dead9.com, and my content is here. Advantages and disadvantages of Python. Here, as you can see, this is the picture we choose, and this is the title and another headings and all of them. And thanks for watching this video.